Let's talk about manufactured foods and how to read their labels. Manufactured foods are loaded with sugar. Sometimes you'll find many different types of sugar in one product. One of the easiest ways to make yourself immediately more healthy is to stop eating all manufactured foods. But that's not that easy, I know. And you may be thinking, that's not really fair. There are thousands and thousands of food manufacturers out there. Not all of them are bad. True. But did you know there's less than 10 manufacturers across the world that make more than 90% of what's in your grocery store? And these guys have your number, and they compete with one another. You probably recognize some of your favorites in this bunch without even blowing up the picture. The bright colors and packaging and even how it sounds when you open it are all studied by food scientists and designed to bring you maximal happiness. Of course, the texture and the taste of these products is what matters most. Scientists want you to be maximally happy with their product. That's what will get you coming back for more. So what part of your diet makes you maximally happy? We've already discussed this several times. Sugar. And the fact that sugar is maximally addictive as well is a double win for food manufacturers. So when one product starts outselling another product, how does that manufacturer get you coming back their way? You got it. They just add more sugar. Manufacturers are slick too. They know that you don't like to see a whole lot of sugar in your product, so they add different sugars with different names. Sometimes they use the scientific names. Other times they try to use forms that sound more natural to you. Here's a list that contains just some of the sugars that manufacturers use in their products. Don't be fooled. Inside your body, every one of these is the same. And in general, going forward, if you see a list of ingredients that includes a bunch of chemicals and things you don't know, things that don't look like real food, that's probably a product you want to put back on the shelf. I'll give you an easy example. My peanut butter contains peanuts and salt. That's it. Nothing more. But I'm getting ahead of myself. You don't need to start throwing out everything. Let's just learn how to read the nutrition label and figure out how much sugar is in the product that you're looking at. Then at least we can start with getting rid of the really bad stuff. Learning low carb is hard enough in the beginning that I just want you to focus on carbs when you look at these labels. And if you're one of those people that likes to track absolutely everything you're eating and you're doing that on an app or something, I really only want you to pay attention to your carbs for at least the next week. And if you're not somebody who tracks your food on an app, I don't need you to start now or ever. That's not necessary to make progress. You can simply make a note every time you eat something of how many carbs it contained and watch your total build throughout the day. And when it comes to tracking carbs, we're going to be focused on net carbs. Remember I said we were going to talk about the fiber tonight. Fiber is a completely non-digestible form of carbohydrate. It's completely insoluble. That means it doesn't melt. The fiber that you eat will come out the same way that it went in. Along the way, it can absorb water, and that's what a fiber-containing laxative does. You eat it, it fills up with water, and it just becomes heavy in your digestive tract. It's simply gravity that pulls that heavy weight along and out. There's actually multiple ways that fiber improves your digestive tract. So yes, we like fiber. And that's why when we calculate net carbs, we don't count fiber against us. So here's the formula for net carbs. Net carbs equal your total carbs minus the fiber. Here's the example I gave you today on the app. You have to pay attention to the serving size, right? Because the nutrition label tells you about the amount of nutrition contained in that serving size. And oftentimes the serving size listed is ridiculous. So in 1 cup of this cereal, there's a total carbohydrate count of 25 grams. But the fiber contained in that is 3 grams. So your net carbs for this 1 cup of cereal is 25 minus 3, or 22 grams. And notice here how this manufacturer was so nice that they broke out the sugars for you. They want you to know that in 25 grams of carbohydrate, there's only 9 grams of sugar. But you're already much smarter than this. You know that sugar is just another name for carbohydrate. So don't get tripped up by this, okay? Ignore that 9 grams of sugar. All I want you to look at is total carbohydrates and fiber. Net carbs equals total carbohydrates minus the fiber. So this cereal, which happens to be chocolate peanut butter Cheerios, is quite high in sugar. I think that's no surprise. But that's only the amount of sugar in 1 cup. If you have something like this in your pantry, I want you to pour out 1 measured cup and then pour it into your regular cereal bowl and see how small that is. Most kids are taking a much larger serving than that. And what's going to happen with this super sugary cereal? They're going to feel super satisfied and then super hungry, and they'll be eating sugar again in a few hours. This is the problem with super sugary things. Once you eat one super sweet thing, your body wants more and more and more sweet all throughout the day. Sugar calls to sugar. So here's your homework for this evening. It's a big one. You're going to want to look through your refrigerator and your pantry and locate all of your high sugar items. Anything you see that's higher than 20 carbs per serving is a high sugar item. And I'm being pretty conservative here. That's close to how much sugar I want you to consume in your whole day. So anything that's much higher than that should be something that you consider tossing right away. And then just for fun, share with your team what it is you're tossing. Tell them which item you found in your pantry that had the most sugar. Have fun with this. We'll talk about the sugar in natural foods tomorrow.